Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. It's your boy Joe Castro, and I'm here with my guy, brother Shy. And it is another episode of Breaking Philly, and this time with a little bit of football behind it. So that felt good. That felt good. But how you doing, Shy? What's good, brother?
I can't complain, man. Can't complain. Football's finally back, even though we kind of had a little bit of a rough outing. But we still back. Got a lot of things to talk about, break down. A lot of things to improve on. But football's back, baby, and we in it.
Yeah. I think that when it first all happened, like right after the game, it felt kind of like oh my God, what did I just watch? But there is some good things to take from it. I think that some good things happened for the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, the main thing is you want to see what these backups are. Like what are they gonna provide if God forbid something happens to one of our starters, and we're looking at our backups to go in there and make something happen. What would they provide? So I think we found that out. I think we found out that in some good ways and some bad ways. So we'll start, I guess, with the let's start with the defense. I feel like the defense was interesting. What stood out to you for better or for worse? Was there some guys that maybe stood out in a good way, some guys that stood out in a bad way for you?
Yeah, I'll start with the good first. I'm pretty sure we both got the same answer for the good. Our linebacking core is pretty much is the strong point of our defense, man. They started out. Jahad Campbell was the only starter on defense to be out there, and they also had him running with Jeremiah Trotter, and those guys were making plays the whole time they were in. So, not too concerned about the linebacker group, but that was the one positive side that I've seen throughout the series. Not too worried or concerned about that. Jeremiah Trotter, he's cerebral. He thinks the way he breaks things down. Like there was one play where he timed a blitz perfectly. Got through, missed on the first attempt, came back and shoelace tackled somebody for his first sack. So I'm not too concerned about the linebacker group at all, just because we do have Zach Bond starting. Jahad Campbell's going to be there. If anything does happen, God forbid, we got Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Small Munden played okay. Chance Campbell played okay. He did well on special teams, but the positives, the bright side has got to be the linebacker core. But what I was really concerned about is that our secondary, dude. Like our corners are not good at all. They're not good at all, dude. Like Jacorian Bennett got hurt within like what the first 5 minutes, and they had Keely Ringo out there, and for most of the time, Keely Ringo was getting burnt chicken, burnt toast, tore up and torched. And all his mechanics kind of just went out the window. And I said this in a video I just put out, he's so undisciplined that it makes me sick. But then as soon as we said that, the dude goes off and he gets himself an interception in the red zone. And he's celebrating and stuff, which I'm like, you can't really celebrate that. You just getting torched. My thing is this, like, if any of those guys go down, God forbid, if Cooper DeJean goes down or Quinion Mitchell goes down or Tariq Woolen goes down, our backups are not good, dude. And it'll be worse than what we had last year with an Adoree Jackson. Even though he came into his own, we don't have depth there, and that's a concern. Like you could probably play a Michael Carter there if you need to, but those guys go down, it's going to be a huge drop down from what we have in Coop, Q, and Reek. So that's what I've noticed there. So positive side has definitely got to be that linebacker core. They went out there and they did their thing for the time that they had. Negative is the cornerback room, dude. They got torched all night.
Yeah. For me, if I'm saying positive, I want to say that defensive line. I was surprised with the depth that we have on that defensive line, especially that interior. I was like, who is Byron Young? And all night I was trying to check his number. Yeah, because I was like, he just continuously jumped off the number wasn't. I was like, whose number is 94? But he just kept on jumping off the film. Like, every time you watch it, you see him making a play. I think that whole defensive line and the fact that you got guys like AJ Esperanza, you got guys like Grenard, you got guys like you can go down the line. And Moro Ojamo, who obviously didn't suit up yesterday, but you have so many guys that can go in there and make an impact. And realistically, might be able to start on other teams. I think that you can look at some of these guys, and they might be third, fourth guy in that rotation at the worst on many other teams, and they're like third, fourth string at their spot. So impressive, and it's interesting to see how they'll kind of finally build that out. I'll play devil's advocate, and I'll say that it kind of worries me. I'm going to be 100% honest. It worries me that Jahad Campbell's out there. It worries me that Jahad Campbell and a guy like Jeremiah Trotter that are going to be your 2 and 3. I mean, realistically, it's Zach Vaughn, then Jahad, and then most likely Jeremiah Trotter. We'll see what happens if that changes at all. But that's what we're assuming we're going into the year with. So the fact that you don't have guys behind them that you can kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like I would have loved to see more of Smile Munden and Chance War. I would have loved to see more of them because I know who Jahad Campbell is. I know to a certain extent who Jeremiah Trotter is. Jeremiah Trotter should have been that number one guy as far as that preseason game went. I don't think it worries me that you had to put Jahad Campbell out there. Is that because you just lack the depth, or is that because you still want to see things out of him? Either way, he did play well. So if they wanted to see things out of him, I think they saw what they needed to see. Hopefully, they don't they don't have to go back out there. I agree with you, though. I think we both have the same exact answer on bad. That secondary, namely the cornerbacks, were just terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Will getting work, man. It was like all week they was like, yo, Matt McWilliams is doing this, doing that, and he got work. He was getting work. I was like, God dang, like, I felt like I was getting beat up. But yeah, there's something that they need to work on. Maybe go out and sign somebody. Or Dory Jackson is still out there, even though I keep saying it. Even though the Cowboys have been kind of been on him for a little bit, and you sent me that earlier. They were looking to sign a Dory Jackson. It's not too late. Offer him something, or just go out and you grab somebody else. And to your point about the whole Jahad Campbell thing, I think they were just out there just giving them reps because he was hurt at the beginning of training camp. Maybe trying to see what he can do. Most likely won't play again. If he plays again, then we gotta be like, what's going on? They haven't seen enough. But he only played like what 1-2 series and he was out. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I think he's just out there for tape. I don't think we trade him, but if he's out there and he's making plays, then bargaining chip. You need something. We got a linebacker who's set to start. Give us something we need. We'll give you something you
I,
need.
I don't even know where you. I don't even know if you can give up a Jeremiah Trotter. We have nobody behind it. I mean, Smile Munden's okay.
Yeah.
That's about it. I mean, that's your top 3 linebackers, and you can't really trust Jahad. I mean, I don't want to say you can't trust him, but Jahad Campbell has been hurt. So, I mean, it would be smart. I don't know. It gets me a little bit nervous. Appreciate you, Dankberg gang. He said play JT. I like what I saw from Jeremiah Trotter. If he can be better in coverage, I'm not against it.
Yeah, run game is
He's a dog.
He's pretty much like N'Kobe Dean.
He is. He's
Kobe Dean was
literally,
great in the
yeah.
run game, and then the passing game he was average. If it's
He's very
to the
similar.
side of him, he's good. But if it's behind him or he got to run a route with a receiver, he was kind of always getting a little bit beat. But he's built in that same mode as a N'Kobe Dean. So yeah,
We'll
I'm,
see. Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's all going to be on Jahad Campbell to stay healthy. If he can't stay healthy, he's probably not going to see much time out there. It is what it is. He's just got to stay healthy. Same thing with N'Kobe Dean. If N'Kobe Dean would have stayed healthy, they probably never draft Jahad Campbell. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens there. I will say on a lighter note for the secondary, I do think that I do think safety play wasn't that bad. I mean, realistically, it wasn't great. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, we have every answer at safety. But you have like a good 3 or 4 that played pretty well. Even some younger, like that Geshkin guy, I don't know how to say his name.
yeah, he was balling.
He played well, bro. He played well. Obviously, Marcus Epps didn't do anything crazy, but
He didn't play.
Michael Carter looked good.
Michael Carter out there. That's saying something since S wasn't out there. I think as of right now, he might be your starting
I
safety.
know Epps was out there. Epps was out there for a little bit. Epps was out there in the beginning, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I thought he was street clothes.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I thought he was out there. I could have sworn he was out there. I could be wrong about that, but either way, I hope Marcus Epps isn't our freaking starter at safety. I'm gonna be real with you. I just like the upside that you get from a guy like
As a
Michael
backup.
Carter. or even Geshman. I can't say his name. I'm not going to even keep
Kind of
trying. Yeah,
Gushkin.
there you go. He could be an upside guy. Obviously undrafted, but he could definitely be an upside guy. I don't think Andre Sam is threatening anybody for a position. So
Not at all.
we'll see what happens there. I think overall, if you had to give the defense a grade, what would you grade it
As a group or
as a group?
as a group, D. D. Because the sum of the parts don't really add up to the overall performance. Like we talked about the depth of the interior line of the defense. If you could grade them piece by piece, that would probably be an A, dude. You had Byron Young out there balling. Ty Robinson finally got himself a sack. I forgot all about him.
That was nice. Yeah,
This big ass got up, jumping, looked like a Mario brother. He was hyped because he needed to put that on tape because he's on his way out.
he was
The edge
balling
rushers,
too.
they
He had a
played
couple
well.
good wins.
Yeah. Arnold Ebiketie, he played well. AJ Epinesa, he played well. He got beat on one when they kind of had him in coverage, which
Yeah.
isn't really his strong suit. But he did do it when he was in Buffalo. But they look good up front. The linebacker core look good. It's just behind it. Okay, maybe I'll give him a C. I'll give it no because they 24-7. You allowed 24 points. I blame Keely Ringo. I don't care.
Yeah, it's all Keely. It's all Keely. I saw people blaming Kevin Patullo yesterday. I thought that was the
Yeah,
funniest
that was
thing
funny.
ever. Or not yesterday, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
He said, "Did we see Cole Wisnowski?" I don't remember seeing Cole out there.
I didn't
So
see Cole Wisniewski out there. I think he's got something going on with his hamstring.
yeah,
I don't think.
hopefully he can get out there either for the joint practices. But I do feel a lot more comfortable at the safety position. I'll say that. I'm not gonna say again. I'm not saying we got the greatest safety room in the world, but I think that they can make it happen with what they got. So we'll see. If I had to give them a grade, I would give the defensive line probably like a B minus, and I give the back end probably like a F. But even with the safeties, maybe that comes up to like a D. So I'll say a B minus, a D. I'm gonna say like a D plus. I'll give them a D plus. Yeah, I feel a little bit better about certain areas of the team, but overall it was ugly, and you can never, like you said, you can't give a real good grade to something like that when you put up 24 points, let 24 points go. Even though a lot of that was on our offense too. Our offense was
Was not.
absolute, like you say, it was ass, right?
Yeah.
So we'll get into the offense next. I want to kind of break it down a little bit though, because I feel like offense has a lot going on there, like a lot of different battles that make a lot of different, things more important than the other. So let's start with the quarterbacks. Obviously, we got to see Andy Dalton out there. We got to see Tanner McKee out there and Cole Payton. What what were your thoughts on those guys, on seeing those three out there, and the good, the bad, the ugly, I guess, and the Andy Dalton?
I gotta say this first that the Philadelphia Eagles we do not have a quarterback too. And if Jalen Hurts does happen to go down, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. So um I'll start in order from the way they played. Right, Andy Dalton started out, I believe, between every set that he played, he only averaged about 33 points. Terrible. Stayed in the pocket, did not run. There was no threat for Andy Dalton to run, and then he overthrew a lot of people. He overthrew Darius Cooper on a play where it did hit him in the hands. He gotta catch that, bounced off his hand, and then Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown didn't do much either. He threw a ball out to Hollywood Brown when he was open. I think he targeted him twice. First time he got him, second time he missed. Lackluster from Andy Dalton, a quarterback who's been in this league. He's a veteran. He's been on hella teams. He knows the assignment. He knows how to play with lesser weapons, which is what preseason actually is. And he did absolutely nothing. It was embarrassing. I was embarrassed. My wife was like, "Who's this redhead guy?" And I was like, "I don't
Who's
know.
this
I don't
right?
know why he's here." But the fact that we did get him for a 7th round pick, but he did absolutely nothing in that showcase that he put on. I'm concerned if something does go down. I'm not sure if I would be okay with him playing. Then you go to Tanner McKee. Tanner McKee did a little bit better, but still not worthy of being that wide receiver too. Excuse me, quarterback too. He put up about 45 yards. I mean, and most of it came from running. Most of his yardage came from running off of Will Shipley. And may I say that Will Shipley ran like he was pissed. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, look at Will Shipley out here trying to get a job. But bringing it back to Tanner McKee, didn't see much, and this was pretty much his showcase to go out there to show that I can be quarterback too. If not here, I can be a quarterback somewhere else in the league. And he didn't show enough for me to be okay with him being the backup quarterback, or for a lot of teams to be like, okay, we'll give you some draft capital for Tanner McKee. It's kind of like fool's gold. Like he was this guy, the Super Bowl year he played well. Then last year he was the guy heading into that last game when we played Washington. He didn't play well, and then it's kind of continuing on to the preseason. So I don't know what we have in these quarterbacks, but Andy Dalton and Tanner McKee, they are not the answer. Maybe it was just pregame like yips, or maybe the fact that they're not running with the wide receiver ones and wide receiver twos. But it looked absolutely terrible, and I did not like it. I know y'all saw me on the screen getting a little bit pissed off. And then by the time we had got off the stream, Cole Payton went in. And Cole Payton went in and he did the damn thing. Cole Payton had a rush for 17 yards, was breaking free, was throwing. He actually looked like, I know a lot of people are going to say the comparison is weird, but from that North Dakota State, he looked like Carson Wentz. I don't know if those coaches kind of breed a certain breed of quarterback, but he looked like Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is better, but the fact that he goes through his progression and he wanted to run first, which is kind of more in the mode of a Jalen Hurts. But it's a shame that we're out here talking today about a rookie who just came out of rookie minicamp, who just came out of his first training camp, and he outshined two veterans who've been in this league. And right now, on the depth chart, based off that showing, Cole Payton is going to be quarterback two, and that's a concern for the Philadelphia Eagles. That you got the one guy who's coming into the league that you got as a fifth round draft pick, who we weren't even supposed to be paying attention to, outplayed Andy Dalton, who's been in this league for 10 plus years, and outplayed Tanner McKee, a guy who's been in this building for 3 years plus. So that's a concern.
Yeah,
So
it'll be interesting.
yeah, the good is Cole Payton. The bad was everything else that I saw from this.
I see. I personally give a little bit more grace just because it is obviously the first game or in a whole new system, all that stuff. And I will say, I think that Andy Dalton looked really bad. I think that Tanner McKee has it in him because he did fall off. It's crazy how good he looked in the beginning. I thought he was going to be a starter in this league. His last couple of showings have not shown me that. But I also will say that wide receivers weren't totally making it easy for them. Definitely dropping some passes, some mistakes on the offensive line. So while I do agree, everybody looked bad. I'm not ready to just kind of, oh, this is terrible. This is horrible. I think that one of them will figure it out. I think between Andy Dalton or Tanner McKee, once they figure out this offense, I think that will be a lot more beneficial to them than we think. And especially when this offense opens up. I mean, a lot of people were talking about the system and stuff like that, and it did look very elementary. It looked very very, I don't even know the word for it. It was bad. It looked like Kevin Patullo. I didn't want to say that, but it did. It looked like what we were running last year. So I'm assuming that means that will change. I'm assuming that means that, that we will open this offense up at some point and we'll see what they actually are, and a leash on what the offense can do or anything like that. So maybe that has something to do with it. We'll see what happens in the second game. I think hopefully they'll be a little bit more comfortable. Maybe they'll have a little bit more leeway in what they can do. But yeah, if we go into the season and we're, stuck at, Cole Payton might be the guy, we're screwed. We're screwed. If Cole Payton is the guy, we're screwed. Maybe he's great. Who knows? Maybe he is really, really good, and, we'll figure that out when we get there. But I'm not trying to depend on a rookie. I'm not trying to depend on – he was undrafted, right? Or was he seventh round? He was undrafted, right?
We got him in fifth. Yeah.
Okay, so fifth round, you don't want to depend on no fifth rounder, all right? We're not the Cowboys. We're not trying to be dependent on a fourth round pick, right, to be our franchise guy. So we'll see what happens, but – if I'm going to ask the same question, because I think with the offense, it's a little bit more nuanced. What would you grade them? I would probably, for the quarterbacks, I'm gonna say a D. I can't even give him a C, because it's like, bro, like all that Cole Payton really did was run around. He did have one or two really good plays with his arm, but for the most part, all he did was run around, and I knew he could run. I knew he could run around.
That was good. Eric E. in the back by the pylon. That was pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He definitely had a couple of plays that you're like, okay, this man got a little bit of an arm on him, but for the most part, he was what we kind of expected him to be at this
Yeah.
point. So we'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? He's going against fourth, fifth stringers that may never play football again. So I don't want to take away what he did. I'm happy for him, but we'll see if that can continue to happen, and we'll see if the opposite continues to happen for Andy Dalton and Tanner McKee. I was really hoping Andy Dalton did great just so we could ship him off because I like Tanner McKee a lot. I'm a big fan of Tanner McKee, but what would you grade that quarterback room?
The first two are terrible. So CD, I mean, well, DF, and then Cole Payton gets a C. You take the average of that, that's a D.
Yeah, I
All
think
the
that's
way
fair.
through. Yeah.
I think that's fair. Going into this is actually perfect. Bart Sara says Lampkin is an ox.
Oh my boy.
Bruh, that offensive
Boy.
line, that was definitely one of the things that I was like, we talked about it. I was kind of worried about the depth on the offensive line. I was like, who after Fred Johnson? You know, if something happens to one of our guards, what happens? Lampkins was played at guard a lot in that game, and he looked good. He looked good. I mean, he
Everywhere.
held his own.
To be he taller than me. I'm only 5'8", but to be 5'11" and stout, dude, like he
Yeah,
played guard, he played center, and nobody muscled him. Dude, this one play where he played to the whistle blew, he threw buddy.
yeah,
He was like he played with an aggression that I like. So I love that he's versatile. If something like if Landon Dickerson were to go down, it's a crisis mode. Then the alarms go
yeah.
off, and we're running like a chicken with our heads cut off. But seeing Willie Lampkins out there, dude, I am not worried. If Cam Jerkins gets hurt, then we got him. We got Drew Kendall. That's fine. If Landon Dickerson goes down, we got Markel Bell. He plays primarily from the left, but we have Willie Lampkin who's going out there, and he was playing against guys that these are the second and third stringers that were bigger
Hmm.
than him. And he's looking like a man amongst boys. You know,
Hmm.
little ass hawking people and stuff. So love that. The line looked good. Markel Bell didn't allow a single sack, pressure, hurry up, nothing. And the fact that he's so tall, was he 6'9",
Yeah,
and in the leverage. I'm not tall. You taller than me, so you got to bend down to get stuff. I'm just on the level. But the leverage that you have to get down to these guys' level is crazy. And what the dude the pass rusher they got last year, Mike Green was the best pass rusher in the draft last year, and he pancaked this like he was coming off the edge. He pushed thing back and then drove him to the ground. Like he's the best pass rusher, well, the second best pass rusher that the Ravens may have on their team. He made him look like a little ass boy. So I love it, dude. So we talked about it last week. Sad to see Lane Johnson on his way out, and he may retire soon. But knowing that Markel Bell is the future for this offensive line, at least anchoring that right side, is something that I can look forward to. The
yeah.
fact that Willie Lampkin can play either center, or he can play the other position on the opposite side of the ball. That looks great to me too. And then all the other guys that we had up front, Cameron Williams looked good. Miles Hinton looked good. These guys they look even though I keep saying
Micah Morris looked really good.
Morris
Like,
looked good. Yeah, he had a hold though. He got to fix that
uh,
up. Even though saying these guys are playing like second and third stringers, I have faith in these guys. So Howie Roseman has done it again. He always invests in the trenches, and the trenches look strong on this team. So positive coming out of the stagnant offense that we saw had to be the offensive line. They allowed a couple hurry ups with Andy Dalton. They allowed one sack with Tanner McKee, but at that point, I believe they had pulled Morris. Now they had pulled Bell. They had pulled Lampkins too. But other than that, the line was solid. Even the line was a bit solid when they played Cole Payton too. So this is a strength that we have. This has been a problem with the Eagles like years on end. Even the Super Bowl year, we had issues with line. The year after that, we had issue with line too. The Super Bowl year was the only year that we really had dependable backups because we had Tyler Steen was the backup, and then Fred Johnson was the backup, so we didn't have to worry about it. And last year, the status quo came back, and we had a lot of guys hurt. So I love that this year we have depth and reliable depth. So positive part of that offense has got to be the offensive line, like we said.
yeah, I think that we're probably going to be cutting some people that might be backups. Like, you know what I'm saying, on other teams. Like, I don't see a lot of these guys being jobless too long. Obviously, we're going to have to get rid of some of them. We already got rid of Hinton, right? That's who we cut today.
No, not Miles hitting.
Then we just got an offensive lineman.
Yeah, we cut an offensive lineman and signed a cornerback because we need them because they butt. Um, what is his name? But it wasn't Miles Hinton. It wasn't Cameron Williams. But somebody did get cut.
Yeah, either way. So we're obviously gonna have to let guys go. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I agree, bro. Like Markel Bell may save a lot of
Oh, Holland Pierce.
Philadelphians some heartaches. And again,
It was Holland Pierce. Holland Pierce got cut.
Alan Pierce. I knew it was with H. There we go. So, but we'll see what happens. I think that, yeah, I think Markel Bell will save us a lot of heartache, a lot of worry because I was nervous. I mean, I said it all off season. I did not know what we were going to do at that offensive line spot if he was to leave. And not just that, I don't even know what we would do if, Landon Dickerson gets hurt or if this guy or, Cam Jurgens sucks still. It's going to worry me. So I would love to see Lampkins take over at center. I think that you can move Cam Jurgens to the guard spot if you really wanted to. And I think that Landon Dickerson, as long as he's here, he's one of those better guards in the league. He just has to stay healthy. If he stays healthy, I wouldn't give him up for many people in this league. So I do feel very, very excited to see how this offensive line works itself out. And it's interesting to see, this kind of changing now with Stoutland out of there. So it's good to know that things aren't slowing down when it comes to building that factory of offensive linemen, and we're going to keep it going. So, yeah, if I had to grade that offensive line, this will probably be one of the rare ones, but I'd have to say A. I'm happy with it all around.
I was gonna say B, but you know what? I'll take an A. My dad used to say B stand for better, try harder to get A's, so I'll give him an A. I was proud. I was proud. Another thing that we got to discuss, dude, is the run game. At least the first two running backs. Tank Bigsby didn't have a big showing. I believe he ran maybe about 2 or 3 times, and they sat him. I guess just to get his feet wet. But Will Shipley, dude, I talk a lot of trash about Will Shipley just because we took him in the third round. I expected him to be so much better, and he hasn't done much. But every opportunity that he's had when he was running with Dalton and when he was running with McKee, he showed out. And I was like, look at this, hit the hole hard, not second guessing himself, not dancing, and he ran free. One thing about Will Shipley I don't like is the fact that when he feels somebody's on his neck, he does this,
Yeah.
which slows
Yep.
him
He
down.
turtles up.
But this time he was holding the ball, held it in the right hand. Like when he was running to the right, held the ball to the right side, ran to the left, held it on the left instead of he did it opposite one time. That made me nervous because you peanut punch that thing out, somebody can get it. But he played well, and I think that with all the injuries that we've had to our running back room, Elijah Mitchell's gone, Damian Pierce has been hurt. I know we have a few other running backs. I don't know their names. They're not really well known. He's really out there fighting for a spot and solidifying himself as the running back three. I don't see Tank Bigsby's not going to lose his spot. Saquon Barkley is definitely the standard, but now we have an idea of who our running back three is going to be unless we go out and we grab somebody. So if he can continue to do that, then we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird how little they ran it. Obviously, granted, we didn't have many possessions. We didn't have the ball for much time because we couldn't get first downs. But it was weird that they didn't run it that much. I mean, looking at the numbers, Cole Payton had 3 rushes. Will Shipley had 7. He was our leading rusher. And Tank Bigsby only had 2.
Yeah.
And then Elijah Moore had a rush, and then Carson Steele had a rush as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of do that. I hope we're rushing the ball at least 30 times a game. Like, I want to be one of those teams that just methodically works their way down the field, giving ourselves easy first downs, keep the clock moving, and keep our defense off the field. Not because they can't handle it, but keep them fresh. Keep them fresh until the actual playoffs. Christian Parker has the Cowboys defense looking different so far.
Christian Barkley is talented, man. He's bred here. I don't wish him much. I wish him success because I like Christian Parker. If he went anywhere else, I'd be like, yo, man, go ahead, dog, do your thing. But you a Cowboy now. Well, I see you. I'm gonna dap you up. I appreciate what you bought this team, but sadly, we're gonna have to stomp you out. So
I'm not too worried about the Cowboys. I mean, did you watch their preseason game?
nah, how they do?
They did all right. I mean, they did. They won. That must have felt nice. But they just got Von Miller as well, so that I know they're happy about that.
He washed.
I'm not too worried about. I think that Christian Parker will get them there. I just don't think he'll get them there this year. I think this year will be kind of a bunch of. That's why I think they got Von Miller is to kind of help the younger guys learn the system and learn how it is to kind of be in the NFL. But yeah, I'm not too worried about that defense just yet. Offensively, they're going to be really good. So if they can just be opportunistic on the defense, then they could be good enough to make that team very good. What are your thoughts on just the Von Miller, what the Cowboys have been doing lately? Obviously, they're looking at some guys that we've been looking at, but this feels like a different Cowboys team. I will say that. They usually don't do this stuff. They don't do this stuff. Realistically, they don't spend money on guys like they just don't really do it. Over the past couple of years, they've actually been going out there getting free agents, drafting well. It feels like they're doing stuff the smart way. I'll say that for once. They're actually doing smart things.
Bro, I don't think so. I think most of the stuff is just the Cowboys trying to put stuff together when they should have been ahead of the game to begin with. So you sign Von Miller when there were so many free agent pass rushers out there or opportunity to trade people, and you didn't. So you go out and you grab who you can. You need to go out there to grab an Adoree Jackson or another corner because your cornerback room is cooked. You had the opportunity to go out there and grab somebody, and you didn't. And then you make the boneheaded decision, not to extend this dude, but the money to pay Quinnen Williams that much money when you have other things. Quinnen Williams had this year, next year, I believe, to play. You could have paid him next year when you got all this other stuff coming due. Like you're not gonna be able to pay George Pickens. Once you get rid of George Pickens, your offense is gonna go back to being, I know, still second best in our division, but right now, as of last year, they were close because they had 1A and 1B in Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, but you're not going to be able to pay him. So I don't get why they're doing that. It's just like Jerry Jones wants to think that he's so smart, but he's not. Like he makes moves a little bit too late. Like if he'd have made that Quinnen Williams, if he'd have paid him earlier, before the cat from Tennessee got paid, you could have paid him not pennies on the dollars, but at least a lot less. If you'd have been active in free agency and actually grab yourself a cornerback, you wouldn't be having to go and scavenge one of our old folks in a Dory Jackson. If you were true to the game like you said you were and you do your research, he said, I sit back and I do my research and I'm a damn good GM, which you're not. You would have went out and you'd have got yourself another pass rusher instead of a Von Miller. Von Miller is not the end all be all. He's a shell of who
Oh,
he is.
for
Not like
sure.
Von Miller. Like they was like, we should go out and get Von Miller. And I was like, no, because on that,
But see,
I have
my
to go
thing
pick.
is the old Cowboys would have went out there and got like the highest paid defensive player on the market, or this guy that used to be a superstar, and they need like what they're doing now. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. Obviously, I don't like the Cowboys, but it's just interesting to see it. Is they're actually trying to build their team. Like they are where they are with Dak Prescott's money. I think that it'll take until they get rid of him, until they find a younger option and a cheaper option other than Dak Prescott. That's what's really killing them. But
6 million a year.
offense, yeah, I mean that really killed them. But defensively, it's smart of them not to be like, all right, let's just everybody that we can go get him. Quinnen Williams is a top 3 guy at his position, so he was going to get paid that. It is what it is. If you wanted to keep him and you didn't want it to look stupid, to get rid of Micah Parsons, because it was you're going to pay him or you're going to pay Micah Parsons. So you chose Quinnen Williams, so you pay him that money because that's what he's worth. And he went out there and balled. He went out there and balled. He definitely is top 3 at his spot, deserves that money. We're going to have to make decisions like that too. So we paid Jalen Carter a lot of money, and you can make arguments that it didn't make sense to do that, but we got Howie Roseman, so we know numbers are going to number themselves at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to see the Cowboys do well, but it is very interesting to kind of see how they're kind of changing up. It is kind of changing how they usually go about things. But I agree with who said it. Janine said it'll end in the same result. I agree. I agree with that. I
They
can't
still
take
are,
that away.
I gotta say they still are number 2 in our division.
If that, we'll see. I mean, the Giants have looked good too. The Giants have looked good. They made some good decisions. Washington,
You see old buddy get sacked.
oh yeah, he
He
got
had
popped. He
Dirk
got
got.
popped.
I was like, God, he laid there for a little bit too.
Yeah,
He
he made some good plays though. He definitely made some good plays. I will give it to him. That team, if they can stay healthy, if they can keep their head out of brick walls, I think they could be good. Like they have Cam is good. Jackson Dart is a really good player, and he's got that swagger to lead in New York. And they got some good players. OBJ still looks good. Like OBJ, I'm not saying he's still the old OBJ, but he looks like he can give you, wide receiver three numbers, which is I think all they really want from him. And then you got Malik Neighbors coming back.
We got to
That
see.
defense isn't horrible.
We got to see how it all that season is kind of to me kind of contingent on neighbors, dude. You
Yeah.
got they do have OBJ. I'm like, he gonna do what he do, but if Malik neighbors don't play, then I think they're gonna be in the same spot as they were last year, and that's just
Yeah, for sure. I
yeah.
mean, they definitely need him. But if he does, you got Theo out there. You got Isaiah. They got a squad. They have a little bit of a squad. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens this year. Washington, I don't think they're going to be good at all. I'm going to
I
be
have to
real with
ask
you.
you, how do you feel about the tandem of Scary Terry and Stephon Diggs?
I think they're going to be trash. I think Scary Terry's going to have a great year. He always does. He's a good wide receiver, and I think Jaden Daniels is a good quarterback. Will he stay healthy? We'll see. I don't know. I don't think that they're young enough. They
Now they're old, and then
Yeah,
Tunsil
they
just got hurt
never
too.
like bridge the gap. You know what I'm saying? Like when they first got Jaden Daniels, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Go out there, get as much as you can, try to build around him and stuff like that. But over these past 2 years, you should have been bridging the gap. All right, let's bring in some youth. Let's bring in some vets. It was just like vet after vet after vet. It just doesn't make sense. And then now you bring in you want to talk about how the Cowboys should have went out there and had the foresight to spend some money on a free agent. They should have had the foresight to go out there and spend some money on on a free agent wide receiver because you knew you had no wide receivers.
Yeah,
You knew you had nobody. So they are betting on Stephon Diggs to put up another 1,000-yard season.
he's consistent.
And that, yeah, I think that is dumb, but we'll see. We'll see if Cardi D can go out there and do it. And then Terry McLaurin, I think he is going to have probably his best season of his career, if I'm being honest. He's never had another wide receiver of Stephon Diggs' caliber across from him, yeah, not even half of that. So I think he will have a great year, but I just don't think it'll be enough. That team is too old. The defense isn't there yet, in my opinion.
But you
We'll
know what
see.
I love about that though, that the Cowboys are gonna have a Dory Jackson. He gonna get burned by one of those two. He'll get burned by one of our two. And Malik Neighbors come back, he'll get as long as the Cowboys finish last. I can say it like this. Within our division, we don't like each other. We don't like
Yeah,
anybody, but we all hate the Cowboys. We hate they asses.
yeah, yeah.
Like
The
the Giants,
Cowboys.
you cool. Like I don't like you, but you know it's business. Washington, it is what it is. But the Cowboys, we all just hate you immensely, hate them immensely. So
Yeah, and we were talking about that yesterday. It's like Cowboys don't really look at us, I guess, as a rivalry. They look at Washington more so as a rivalry just because of
yeah,
the history of the two. I guess it depends on like your age. Because I feel like our generation, our age group, and then below, like younger people than us, they would all probably look at Cowboys and be like, screw the Cowboys. And people our age that were Cowboys fans would probably say, screw the Eagles. But when you get like older, like my boy Jay, like once you get over like probably like 40s and up right now. If you're 40s and up right now, you probably do know the history between the Cowboys and the Commanders or Redskins, whatever you want to call them. But me, I hate everybody equally. I probably hate the Giants more than I hate any other team. I'm gonna be real with you.
okay. Man,
I
hey,
grew up. I grew up around all my family was born in New York, every single one of them. So it's like I literally had to them and Patriots fans annoy the hell out of me.
Cowboys
I
fan.
hate both teams
My
so much.
Cowboy fans, it pisses me off. I'm like, we're not from there.
Yeah, so yeah, see, you might be around more,
Oh, it
not
pisses
me.
me off. Every Thanksgiving, let's come on here. I don't want to come over there because I know y'all gonna be watching. I don't want to watch that. But
He
yeah,
said Dallas doesn't need Jackson. Parker has Bland. Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
he's also undisciplined, dude. Bland, man, Bland making money off of that one season that he had. He ain't done
Hmm.
nothing since. Nothing since.
Exactly.
I mean, he's not a bad cornerback, but it's not. He's not the end all be all. Like,
He got lucky that year. That year, I mean, that was very. Kobe Durant is pretty good though.
yeah, Kobe's good.
Yeah, Kobe's pretty good. But I mean, that's what they're looking at. They want to get a Dory Jackson, so that's on them. If they want to get him, go grab him. It's all you. You can have him. It'll be interesting. But all right, so the next position group, we went over the run game. How about the tight ends? Should we mash the tight ends and the wide receivers together, or just do tight ends then wide receivers?
You might as well. They all didn't do nothing.
Basically, yeah, right.
There was a couple plays where I was kind of upset with the quarterback because Eli Stowers was open deep, and they just didn't see him, and they kind of gave a little nice little dink and dunk to Darius Cooper. Grant Calcaterra, he whiffed on one. Not a lot good from the tight end group. Thing is, Eli Stowers did block one time. He looked good. He looked good, but not a lot from the tight end group to kind of like grade. If I had to grade them overall, it's probably gonna be a D. Um, haven't didn't really see much. I didn't see. I don't know if Munt played at all.
Who?
Munt. We got him from
Oh, Johnny Munt.
Johnny
No,
Munt.
I don't think so. At least he ain't put up no numbers. Let's say
Yeah.
that much.
So I can't really, you know.
Yeah, I would say if I had to find something positive to say, right, about this group, I would say at least Eli Stowers looked okay as a blocker.
Yeah.
I would say that he didn't look bad as a blocker. Like he wasn't. We're not sitting here like remember that play where he got blew up in the block and run game, you know. So I'll give him that. He didn't look terrible. I didn't have to call out his name. It was nice to see Brenton Covey out there. If Brenton Covey can stay healthy, if he just doesn't get his noggin rang, bro, I really think he could be a really good slot receiver in this league. Like he's just
Like a Cole
so
Beasley.
good. Say again?
I want him to be Cole Beasley so bad, but it's just he just can't stay healthy.
That's the thing, bro. I think he really could. He really could be that. That's like probably his ceiling, but yeah, he just can't stay healthy. It is what it is. Darius Cooper did good.
Yeah, there's Cooper. I think he was the leading receiver. I did notice that. I think we spoke about it. Dontavian Wicks didn't play, which means his spot's solidified.
Hopefully, yeah.
Also, surprisingly, Johnny Wilson didn't play. Johnny Wilson didn't play at all, and I'm just like, so are they saying that they're gonna keep Johnny Wilson? The fact that Johnny Wilson didn't play, but you had Hollywood Brown playing, it speaks. It says a lot. So I don't know if they're still on the fence about keeping Hollywood Brown, because he's had a lackluster like off season. To be completely honest with you, I know he has some guaranteed money, which means that we'll probably end up trading him somewhere, but. No Dontavian Wicks. We already knew that he's probably wide receiver two at this point. No Johnny Wilson, which means the upside is probably still there, or he's going to play this week against the Patriots, which we're going to get into. Darius Cooper went out and showed what he could do. He's not going anywhere. And then you had Hollywood Brown, who had two opportunities but just didn't use them, or they didn't scheme up anything for him to actually play. So, wide receiver group outside of Darius Cooper and a couple of dink and dunk plays from Buddy, Britton Covey. I didn't really see much. Oh yeah, EJ Jenkins was out there too, but they didn't really target him like that. But didn't really see much from this wide receiver group. So if I had to grade them, everybody's getting graded low. Maybe we can say that we're being graded low just because it is the preseason. They don't want to show what this offense is capable of. So they probably have a few designated plays. That's what I tell myself so I can sleep at night. Because if that's the offense, I'm gonna be pissed off. They don't want to go out and show what we got going on. So outside of the heroics of a Darius Cooper, probably a D. Probably a D. Like it's preseason, so I don't the grading scale is not as heavy as I would give it during the regular season. But I gotta see more, man.
Yeah, I will say, and this may be a hot take. I think Darius Cooper's position is far from a lock. And I would say this. I think that it would make sense if they really did like Johnny Wilson. Because when we look at the scheme yesterday, right? I know a lot of people were, up in arms about it. But if you look at the formations, maybe not the scheme. If you look at the formations, there was a lot of two tight end sets. And what they were doing off of those sets were getting motions going, getting some of those tight ends into the slot. We saw Eli Stowers moving into the slot. If that's what you're trying to do with your big guys, makes sense to like a Johnny Wilson. Makes sense to keep a Johnny Wilson because at the end of the day, he can do that. You know what I'm saying? He's a wide receiver. He's a wide receiver with the body of a tight end. So he can do that. I think that makes a lot of sense. And then it comes down to what skill sets are you looking for? And realistically, Darius Cooper, I like Darius Cooper. He's fun to watch, but he's not like a speedster like a AJ or like a Hollywood Brown is. He's not a big body like a Dontavian Wicks or a Johnny Wilson. So it's like, what skill set does he bring to you? I'm not saying that he's bad. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying within whatever your scheme may be or whatever formations you're trying to run, does it make sense to keep him in there? Or are you kind of just trying to make him fit because you like him as a player? So I don't think that he's outright not going to be on this team, but depending on what we want to do formation wise, it might make sense that they're like, he just doesn't fit what we're trying to do because he can't take anything over the top and he's not a big body guy that we can.
Right, catch, yeah.
Exactly. So, and again, I'm not saying he's bad. I think that he's still a very good player. It just might not fit. So that might be what they were trying to do. Like, okay, could he be that Devontae Smith on the outside? You know what I'm saying? If we want to take Smitty out for a play or two, can we do that? Because I would say I think that Darius Cooper is a better blocker, or at least better suited to block than a Devontae Smith. So if that's what you're thinking, like he still gives you the upside of a receiver, but he's a better blocker. So maybe that's what you do. KV says it as soon as I'm saying it. It's the truth.
You can block
So
too, yeah.
yeah, so it's all about what do they see in him, and what do they say this is what we need out of the sixth receiver or the fifth receiver, whatever it may be. But it'll be interesting.
It could have just been an audition, like you said, to see what he can do when we put him out there.
Yeah.
I didn't see much yard after the catch. I didn't see him taking the top off of defense, which isn't really his game. Did block a couple times, but I think they have a plan for him. I think they like him because he's in a mode of he who shall not be named, and he's been compared to him so many times. So I think they're trying to make something out of. I don't want to say something out of nothing, but they're trying to make something out of the potential that they see. And once
Yeah.
again, he's another one of those guys who were he was undrafted, so you
And
get
so if
him.
you got a fifth or sixth wide receiver at the very worst in him, I'm not mad at that at all. Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. So I respect that. What's going, Kavo? What's going on, brother? Good to see you in here, brother. What were we talking about? All right, so you gave your grade on them, right? I'll give my grade on them. I'll say C. I'll say C because I think that the wide receiver, quarterback play was pretty bad. There wasn't many plays that I was like, that's 100% on the wide receiver, but there were plays that I was like, you got to make that catch. So I'll give him a C. I'll give him a C, maybe a C minus.
That says that Eli Stowers might be in danger. He might. He might. He got two more games to show that he needs to be on his team. He's a second round draft pick, so I don't think we.
Yeah, he's not
Like,
getting cut, but
but he gotta show something if he wants some playing time behind all those other tight ends that we have.
I want Michael Mayer so bad, bro. Like, if I'm the Eagles, go do something. Go get Michael Mayer from the Raiders. Like, they don't need him. They do not need
Talking
him.
about him for all season, even
He needs
last
to just
year.
make it happen. Throw
Even
him an offensive lineman or something like that. Call it a day. And maybe a late round pick, like a fifth or a sixth.
you should have gave him Holland Pierce.
Yeah, we can give whoever you want. I'll give you whoever you want on our only person I won't give up. Obviously, none of our starting offensive linemen, not Fred Johnson and not
Willie Lampkin stay.
Markel Bell.
Markel ain't going nowhere. Willie Lampkin, he needs to stay.
Willie Lampkin. I mean, if they said we want Willie Lampkin and you can have Michael Mayer, I'll give you Willie Lampkin. I'm gonna be real with you. We can get another offensive lineman, bro. Michael Mayer is a nasty tight end.
He is. He is, but I'm not gonna sacrifice that for the future of the offensive line.
We could get another one. I mean, Willie Lampkin's good. Don't get me wrong, but we could definitely get another good offensive lineman. We do that damn near every year. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. The price is cheap.
Especially if Micah Morris is good. If Micah Morris is good, if some of these other young dudes that you got, they're making it happen. Cameron Williams is taking a step up. Why not, bro? If he becomes, because we got Willie Lampkin for what, like a 6th round pick or something like that.
Nothing. We got him off the Rams practice squad. They
Facts.
Yeah. They were trying to they were mad at us because apparently in the league you're not supposed to take somebody who's off of waivers off the practice squad, but F them. I don't care.
Yeah, you'll get over it.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's enticing. It's enticing, depending on what the contract looks like. But I'd have to see the contract before I can make a final decision. But as of right now, nah. You can have anybody else. You want a Miles Hinton? You want a Cameron Williams?
Yeah, whatever happened to Kramer? I wonder how he's looking.
I don't know. He played.
We'll
I think.
see.
I think he was hurt for a little bit. He had like a knee contusion, so I'm not sure if he played last Saturday.
Yeah, I didn't see him out there. We'll see though. I'm sure more answers will be was asked to pull and got stuffed and the play was ruined because of it. I didn't say he looked good. I just say he didn't look terrible.
He's not great.
Like
He's
it
not
is what it
great.
is.
I think he needs to put some. I hate saying this because people be like, "You know what I'm talking about." I think to be a tight end in this league, he got to put some. He got to put some. He got to put some weight on. He's
Yeah.
small. I'm bigger than him.
Yeah, I really just I
So
think that it'll be a wrap for him if Johnny Wilson comes in and is like, all right, coach, I'll freaking play it. I know that's what you want. I'll move the tight end. I got you.
yeah,
Then it's over. We'll figure something out with Stowers. You can you could try to be a wide receiver for a little while if you really want to, but we're good. I think Johnny Wilson could be a star tight end in this league. I really do. Give him a year or two to understand concepts of blocking and stuff like that, as far as an end line goes. And I think he can be a star tight end in this league. He has everything you need. So we'll see what happens from there. So let's take this last couple minutes, 10 minutes of the show, and let's talk about this next. Realistically, the preseason to me doesn't matter that much. For me, it's really these joint practices.
yeah.
But we'll kind of mash them both together. What are some things you're looking to hear and see when it comes to these joint practices? Johnny can catch.
Johnny can
What
catch.
are we talking about? Johnny Wilson can definitely catch.
He did have some issues in college
He
where he
did.
played a lot smaller than he actually was. But what we saw from him last year and what he's been doing this year, Johnny Wilson can catch. I think they told him if you don't catch you on his way out, but we'll see. We will see. He'll be a star at catering.
Y'all
You're
some
not his, you're not,
haters, bro.
goddamn,
You
dude.
always hate on my guys, bro. When it was Quez Watkins, now it's Johnny Wilson. Let me have my guys, man. Let me have my guys.
But dude, from these next training camps, here's what I know what's gonna happen, right? Here's what's gonna happen because the Eagles we're not gonna put out no content like that. Every time the Patriots do something good against us, we're gonna see it all on social media.
Uh-huh.
Every little thing is gonna get all blown. Yeah, he was hurt last year. I'm talking about like the preseason game. That last preseason game against the Bengals, he was the man. Um, every little
He
thing they
looked good
do,
all off season last year too.
and then it's just gonna be like, oh, the Patriots are so much further ahead than the Eagles. It's not. It's just gonna become the Eagles versus AJ Brown. So that's going to be the whole narrative this offseason. So even going into this practice, that's what they're going to line it up as. But what I'm looking forward to seeing is pretty much competing. I want to see. I know for a fact we fought our own guys. We gonna go out there. We fighting. Somebody's fighting.
I
Somebody.
told you this. Didn't I say in the beginning, but before all this happened, I was like, what's the over under on fights? I think there'll be at least two fights. At least two fights.
Yeah. I know it's one of them's going to be with AJ Brown, but
I can't wait.
what I'm looking forward to seeing is Devontae Smith versus Christian Gonzalez because the times we have played and we have had joint practices, Devontae Smith has gotten the better of Gonzalez. Um, I want to see our secondary versus AJ Brown. I need to see the clamps put on, the clamps. I'm not too concerned about Q, but from what I've been hearing about Tariq Woolen, he gets a little bit lazy sometimes, and he hasn't been getting beat, but Dontavian Wicks and Darius Cooper they kind of been giving him a little bit of trouble. So I don't want to see any lapse in judgment from him and give AJ Brown any shine, dude. This is for me, bro. This is the hate camp.
Yeah.
The hate camp. Every time he catch the ball, I want somebody to tear his ass up.
If the preseason had a Super Bowl, this would be it. I'll tell you that right now. This is probably the most important preseason joint practice I've ever seen, ever.
I think he's gonna play. And we're not gonna play none of our starters, but they're gonna be like, "Oh, AJ Brown's out there. AJ Brown's playing. Oh my God, AJ Brown!" And
No.
he probably gonna get a touchdown over Keely Ringo or something. And I'm like, "Oh, look, Philadelphia made a mistake." Like this is just the news and media spreading some stuff. If we play our starters, then that's not gonna nothing like that's gonna happen. But during the game, he'll probably play. He's probably gonna get his whatever he played against, like our third stringers. You're gonna be playing against the Jacorian Bennett or Keely Ringo. But it's the practices I want to see. And hopefully it's not just from the Patriots side. I want to see the Eagles actually put up some content too, because the Patriots are going to make themselves look good. So yeah, that's pretty much
Yeah.
what the offense we're going to run. Are we going to show the Patriots what we're actually going to run? Because that's the thing about joint practices. You can't just be like, hey, we're going to pull up to this spot and we're going to like practice, but we're only going to run these 5 or 6 plays. You can't just handcuff yourself away from the playbook. So it's going to be interesting to see how these joint practices go. Um, Yeah.
I will say this much. I think that, like I said, I do think this is a very important joint practice because you have seen over the past couple of years they take the joint practices serious. This is where they really want to use to kind of go. This is their real practices. These are their real preseason games. That's how they look at it. So we will have a lot of answers. I think that, especially like you said, I think that was perfect because New England's going to tell as much as they can about what's going on. You know what I'm saying? If AJ Brown sneezes and Quinion doesn't intercept the snot, they're going to be like, oh, these guys suck. Whatever happens with Jalen Hurts, this guy sucks, lottie dottie, and all that. So I just want to see smart. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but I want to see smart play. I want to see aggression. I want to see this defense start to do things. A lot. We played very soft defensively, especially with that secondary. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the preseason. It doesn't matter in these joint practices. If you get beat over top for 3,000 yards in a game, it is what it is. It doesn't really matter until we get to the actual regular season. So make your mistakes now, learn from them now, learn how to grow from them now, learn how to, fix things now because in 3 weeks it's going to actually matter. So fuck up now and then we'll figure it out over these next 3 weeks. Now, do I want to see everything given? No. Yeah, don't hold back, but at the same time, don't go all out. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely give them some of your, figure some things out, see what works against them, and make them look stupid every now and then. But don't go too crazy. I don't want this to become, like you said, AJ versus the world, or everybody's punching AJ every time they see him and stuff like that. Just go out there and learn what you got to do. Now, that's what I want to say as a football fan. Or I should say, as someone that covers the Eagles, as a football fan, I want them to go out there and knock A.J. Brown the F out. That's what I want. I want A.J. Brown on the ground every single time he runs a route. I don't care what that sounds like. I don't care if y'all are going to talk about Santa Claus and snowballs in Philly. I don't care. I want him on the ground every single time. If he goes in front of you, you bump him down. I don't care. I don't care. That's what I want as an Eagles fan, but
Yes.
we'll see what we actually get.
Yeah, man. If you ain't with us, you against us, and that's how I feel. And the way you went out like a sucker. So
Like a
we're
straight
gonna treat you like a
sucker.
sucker. So
Yeah,
can't wait.
KV says he wants to see Wicks, Lemon, and Cooper eat versus the Pats defense. I also want to see Reek, Woolen versus AJ, and Gene versus Dubs. I can't talk. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be nice. That would be nice. I'm excited. Got to get. Oh, let me know, brother. Let me know anytime. And then Lucia said Johnny Wilson is about to go off this season. He'll get 750 and 4 touchdowns in Madden. What a hater, bro. Y'all just
Oh, bro, let me have this.
don't hate on my boy, bro. He gonna be good.
You finna be-
Hopefully. I I'm high on Dontavian Wicks, and I feel like I'm being proven wrong. Right. So I'm gonna shut up about everybody else. I'm not making no crazy predictions about anybody else. I did it with Dontavian. We'll see if that holds true. But you got anything you want to say to these beautiful people before we get up out of here?
Oh man, once again, I appreciate y'all coming. You had an hour to chill and kick it. You could have been doing anything, but you stayed here and talked some football with us. So thank you. We appreciate y'all. Go Birds.
Go Birds, baby. Yeah. So we'll be back here next week. I think we're gonna switch back to 8 o'clock instead of the 7. Well, 8 o'clock Eastern. Different time for you, but you know what I meant. But so I think we're gonna move it back an hour back to where we started. Now that I can kind of work around that schedule, but I appreciate all y'all, man. This was fun. It was good to see some familiar faces haven't seen in a while. Hopefully, we see you guys all next week, and we'll be back for the preseason game as well. So that'll be a lot of fun. So just keep locked in, keep subscribed, keep ready for the heat. But other than that, y'all know what it is, man. I'm your boy Joe Castro.
I'm your boy, Brother Shy.
And that has been another episode of Breaking Philly.
The right way. Bad.
Peace.